I want to let everybody know that, well, all by myself, it's not by no means the case. So I want to introduce the other committee members. Where's Betty Ann Williams? Okay, Betty Ann Williams.
Yes. Oh,
And Paul Delaney.
oh, it's your camera. Like a
Oh, yes. Yvonne actually is our
I thought you
treasurer.
had a camera.
Made that one
Okay.
from getting an email or using a credit card. And of course, one of our founding members, Walt Swanson, is with us in spirit. We should be very happy to see this crowd here tonight. I wanted to also let people know that I wanted to get a copy of the Washington City paper because the cover story this week is on diversity in the local media. So I want everyone to take a look. You can get it online, but if you happen to get a paper copy, you'll see that we are the cover story. And it's quite comprehensive and food for thought. So I pray bring that to your attention. The other thing I wanted to be sure to mention is, as I said again, we only have so much time. So what we're going to do this time is try to do a couple of things at the same time. So in other words, while people are lined up for the buffet, we'll also be starting introductions to save time, so that we have so many people. So without further ado, I also want to welcome our host and have him say a few words, Gene Paul Essentially, and thank him once again for hosting. This is like the third time, isn't it? Thanks very much.
Thank you, Richard. It's a delight to see so many friends back in the building and to know that you've been here for other programs as well. Greetings on behalf of the Freedom Forum, which is the foundation that supports the museum and supports my part of it, the Freedom Forum Institute, and of course part of the Institute, along with the First Amendment Center and Museum Programming and Religious Freedom Center, and special initiatives is our diversity and inclusion programs, ranging from the Chips Quinn Scholars to the Al Newhart's Free Spirits and to other programs. You know, Richard, thank you so much for what you do. We co-hosted a program earlier this year, March, I think, on the 50th anniversary of the Kerner Report. And that video is actually showing up a lot on YouTube. So, and if you get past my opening, it's a good program. But, you know, it's certain moments that just hit you. And it's an anniversary that isn't on one of those dates that we normally mark things, but 63 years ago today. And it probably will come up in other programs. I always say at the museum we try to celebrate people who stood up for freedom. But 63 years ago today, in 1955, Rosa Parks sat down for freedom. An extraordinary moment in my life, the life of this country. And I wanted to acknowledge that. But also, we do have a person who stood up for freedom and who is standing up in one of our galleries, Allison Dunnigan. Now, we're not new to her story. In 2015, we actually did a story of Alice, who was the first African-American woman to be accredited to covering the White House. But earlier this year, we were fortunate that there was a statue cast, originally, I think, to be in her hometown, but first put on display here. And I think we may have a chance of having that as a permanent exhibit. I'd also like to mention this year, as we come through our 10-year cycle of looking at the modern civil rights movement, we will be taking all of those years and condensing them into a permanent gallery. So that exhibit will live on here forever, and we're very proud of that as well. I have to tell you two stories about Alice, if I may, and I know I'll try to do it quickly. Her family was here, and her granddaughter told this wonderful story that Alice would occasionally, as you may know, have to pawn her watch on a Monday and buy it back on a Friday in order to, when she got paid, to keep going. And that was her commitment. But after she was accredited, she was out covering Harry Truman, her granddaughter tells us, and in Arizona, and she was walking in those days as you did, sort of behind the presidential car. And a police officer rushed out, tried to pull her out, saying she didn't belong in the press corps. Of course, the press corps, I will say, defended her right and said, sending away, said absolutely not. But her granddaughter remembers her grandmother telling her the story, saying, later, you traveled on the train in those days, and she had a roomette, and her feet were propped up. She took off her shoes, propped up her feet, was working with one of those great big old heavy underwoods, propped on her legs. It's a knock on the door. And it opens, and it's Harry Truman, who says, Alice, I heard you had a problem. Are you okay? Now, I thought that was a wonderful story. But she said, her grandmother said, which is what the family delights in, when the President of the United States comes in the room, you're supposed to stand up. I had that damn typewriter on my legs. That's just one of those little insights you get. But maybe a more touching recollection is that I believe it was some of the women who work at NPR who came over and put their watches on that statue, which I just think is extraordinary, and I believe we've preserved those to be with the permanent location of the gallery. You know, in a time when there are so many challenges to a free press, and the industry has failed so miserably in its 25 or 30-year commitment to really substantially increasing diversity. I think Alice's story, the stories we can all tell each other, and the commitment that we have, I'm so proud of our foundation for retaining its commitment over the last 25 years and on into the future, that we just have to sometimes celebrate the small stories of the knock on the door from Harry Truman and some of those other things that come along, and never lose sight of the work ahead of us. Again, it's a delight to have you here celebrating the holiday, and good wishes to all of you from my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, we're going to do as we traditionally do, and that's have everybody introduce himself or herself, but we're also going to try to do two things at once, and so once you introduce yourself, please go back and head to the buffet. And, what's that? Okay. All right, we're going to start on this end. Sorry. Wait, get back in just one second.
Oh, you got it. I was like, I do it.
Okay, so Betty, do your story.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Betty Ann Williams, one of the co-hosts for the evening. Thank you all for coming and making this one of the highlights of our year.
Yeah.
I'm Larry Goldbetter, president of the National Writers Union, and it's really an honor to be here. Thanks.
Now wait a minute, the National Writers Union, Ebony Freelancers, that's who they went to, and that's who got them their money. All right.
AJ Springer with the National Writers Union.
Brittany Riddle with Wilson Global Communications, here promoting Dorothy Gilliam's book, Trailblazer.
Okay, now once you introduce yourself, go on back to the buffet.
Hi, I'm Julia Wilson, and I'm Dorothy Gilliam's international book publicist for Trailblazer.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jackie Trescott, and I'm a former colleague of Dick's, Dorothy's, and about half the people in the room.
Okay, Yolanda, oh, sorry.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Gilliam, and looking forward to having a little chat with Courtland Milloy later. Is he here?
Yeah. There he is. You don't want to eat. Want to eat yet? Okay.
Hi, I'm Lynn Adrian. I'm the director of the DC Graduate Broadcast and Digital Journalism Program for the Newhouse School at Syracuse University.
Yeah.
Good evening, I'm Phil Purnell. I'm managing editor of publications at the Institute for Defense Analysis, a small think tank in Alexandria.
All right.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sherry Franklin, and I am a media director in advertising in Burnaby's Better Half.
Okay.
That is right.
I'm Vernon Smith. I'm Sherry's better half. I'm also with the National Oceanic Atmosphere Administration. Hello, I'm Ivan Kroman. I'm a former executive director of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and I'm working as a freelance journalist and a communications consultant.
Okay. And now it's there. Oh, well.
Good evening, I'm Daryl Boyd. I am a former collegiate reporter and a journalist, but I'm a chemist and I work at the Naval Research Laboratory in Washington, D.C., and I'm also the founder of drboydthechemist.com, where we do small, fun science experiments for children.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Joy Boyd. I am his better half. And I am in Sprint business. I help businesses with their telecommunications, and I'm also looking to write my book on transitioning from college to career in 2019.
Good evening, Connie Newman. I'm the guest of Carol Booker.
Oh, come on, Connie Newman. People should know that Connie Newman has been a political. How long have you been involved in all that politics and administration? District of Columbia treasurer, who everyone should know. You can go over her later on, and she'll tell you the rest of it.
She's a hidden hand that gets stuff done.
Right.
Good evening, I'm Carol Booker, and I'm happily retired and a fan of Connie Newman.
Also the wife of Simeon Booker, and the co-author of the editor of the biography of Alice Dunnigan, who we just talked about.
Good evening, I'm Paul Coates, Black Classic Press. We're based in Baltimore. Black Classic Press and BCP Digital Printing. We publish books, we print books, we do the whole thing. So thank you. And I'm really, really glad to be here. I've been trying to get here for the last 3 years, and I'm just glad to make it.
Hi, I'm Gloria Maynard, former Public Affairs Director at WPFW Radio. Glad to be here.
Greetings. I am Ackland Lynch, the father of Jair Lynch and Pilar Lynch. I'm proud of my children.
All right.
Hello, my name is Caleb Francois. I'm a student at GW and a friend of Mr. Prince, and I'm very honored to be here tonight. Thank you.
Very good.
Hello, my name is Dwight Ellis, former National Association of Broadcasters, currently professor at Bowie State University, and I'm so glad to be here to finally see my dear friend Dorothy Gilliam, whom I haven't seen in years, and the elusive Courtland Milloy. Thank you.
And just as a second, I might add.
Hi, welcome. Paul Delaney. I spent most of my career at the New York Times.
Co-founder of NABJ and other things. And also, along with Anita, the host of our initial holiday party. Yes.
I'm Anita Delaney. I'm the spouse of this one, Paul Delaney. And I think that I've bounced around the country and outside the country with him for a lot of years. And everything's looking good.
Awesome.
My name is George Stolbert. I'm a freelance photographer and former official U.S. Senate photographer.
Hi, I'm Joyce Wellman. I'm a visual artist, the only one in the room probably, and I love coming to the Journal-isms Christmas party especially. I'm also a member of the board of the Humanities Council of D.C., so we do things all about Washington, D.C., and journalism is one of the things we look at too. Glad to be here. Merry Christmas, everybody.
George has done a lot of our roundtables too, and the official photographer.
Hi, I'm Benita Bing. I'm the president of the Exposure Group, African American Photographers Association, located here in Washington, D.C. And I'm also a network specialist for the U.S. Senate. Hi, my name is Angela Ford. I am the founder and executive director of the Obsidian Collection, digitizing Black archive images to share with younger generations. Okay. I'm happy to be here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Caroline Brewer. I'm an author, educator, and director of marketing and communications for the Audubon Natural Society.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe James. I'm a former 33-year economic development professional, now an entrepreneur involved in agricultural and environmental technology.
Hi, I'm Athalia Knight. I'm a former reporter at the Washington Post and currently an adjunct professor at Georgetown.
Washington Post, which means that I review vendors as well as do internal research for the newsroom. Charity Brown.
Hello, I'm Deidre Comagese. I spent 25 years with Gannett, and I'm currently an educator at the Billington School of Arts.
Hi, I am Al McGill, and I am the administrator at the Washington Post and National News and Politics. I am the editor of blackbooksandreviews.com, and I write the Ask and Advice column.
Hi everybody, I'm Lori Grant, Managing Editor at Transport Topics, and Merry Christmas.
Okay. Wait, now you all can go.
Good evening. Oh, but I passed it the wrong way. Okay, here we go.
Oh, here, there you go. Here.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Salmon. I am one of the owners of Crown Bakery, where many of your roundtable have been hosted at Crown Bakery. And it's a pleasure being here this evening. Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure all the time to have you at Crown Bakery. So we'll see you next time. Happy holidays.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, there we go. I'll wait.
Hello, everyone. I'm Diane Camper. I'm a former journalist with the New York Times, Baltimore Sun, and Newsweek, and I'm now retired from the Public Welfare Foundation. Merry Christmas.
Hi, Miranda Spivak. I used to work at the Washington Post. I've been working for Reveal from the Center for Investigative Reporting and the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, which is in Sarajevo. I'm about to go to Macedonia to teach journalism on Fulbright.
Good evening, I'm Mary C. Curtis, formerly of lots of places, including the New York Times, but currently a columnist at Roll Call and a senior facilitator with the Op-Ed Project, leading thought leadership seminars around the country and the world.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Rick Edwards. I'm a retired property manager here at the district. Here at the invitation of my good friend, Dick. Very happy to be with you all.
All right.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Hi, I'm Kamal Uhai. I'm a features editor at the Baltimore Sun, formerly managing editor of the Afro-American in Baltimore.
Okay. Hi. I love you both, but I actually want to speak to the people. So,
No problem.
I'm a TV person, I'll wait. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nikki Mayo. I am the owner of Nikki Mayo News, LLC, my own audio and video company, as well as the immediate past president of the Baltimore Association of Black Journalists. And happy holidays and Merry Christmas, y'all.
This table can go to the buffet if you like.
Good evening, everybody, and Merry Christmas. I'm Hazel Trice Edney, President and CEO of the Trice Edney Communications and Editor-in-Chief of Trice Edney Newswire. I'm also an adjunct professor at Howard University, the Kathy Hughes, Howard University School of Communications.
Merry Christmas. I'm Barbara Reynolds, celebrating 56 years as a journalist.
Oh, congratulations.
Lately, starting with Ebony, with Essence, with the Chicago Tribune, with USA Today, and now my memoirs of Coretta Scott King published and circulating through Europe. I'm very happy to be here as well.
Okay.
Good evening, Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays. I'm Doreen Bethea, multi-platform editor at the Washington Post.
Good evening, my name is Nicholas Mack. I'm a student journalist at American University, also maybe the youngest person here. Happy to be here, and thank you, Mr. President, for the invitation.
Nicholas came to our roundtable on the descendants of Georgetown University, seeking their just what would do that. And Nicholas was looking into what the history of American university and slavery has been, and is on the committee to do that. So that's how we encountered Nicholas.
Hi, good evening. My name is Emily Ancona. I am the guest of Nicholas Mack, and I am a communication student at American University.
Okay, you all can head to the buffet if you like.
Yes, I'm Courtland Milloy, the elusive. And I'm a former colleague of Jackie Trescott, Dorothy Gilliam, and have people in this room.
Hello, everybody. I'm E.R. Ship, and I know a whole bunch of people from the Washington Post and the New York Times. I currently am on the faculty of Morgan State University's School of Global Journalism and Communication.
You're trying to get through here?
I was a healthcare writer for 25 years, and I'm on a bit of a break, but I'm ready to get back on it. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Terrence Bertel. I'm a former writer of the NYU paper, Rollistic Prince over there 500 years ago. Worked for UPI for a time and just a country doctor.
Good to have a doctor in the house and a former classmate as well.
Good evening. Pleased to meet my wife, Claudia Cox Dawkins, who works at the Department for Defense. And season's greetings. I'm Wayne Dawkins. I'm an associate professor at the Morgan State University School of Global Journalism and Communication.
Good evening, Merry Christmas. My name is Linda Shockley with the Dow Jones News Fund in Princeton, and I am happy to be back at the Christmas Roundtable. It's been a long time.
You came down from New Jersey. All right.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Mott. I'm a former longtime Washington Post employee, and I'm currently at Bloomberg News in Washington.
Good evening. I'm Michael Hill, retired editor from the Washington Post.
I'm Gene Meyer. I'm another former longtime Washington Post reporter and editor. I spent most of my newspaper career there. I'm also the author of Fight for Freedom, the African American Soldiers in John Brown's Army, which I'm happy to say is in the second printing and is finally for sale at the bookshop of the National Museum of African American History and Culture in the Hall. And most importantly, I'm the husband of Sandy Perlman, who is here with me tonight.
No, you gotta say.
I'm Sandy Perlman, Gene's
Good evening. I'm Yvonne Shinoster Lamb, former editor with the Washington Post.
Good afternoon. My name is Gregory Lamb, and I'm the spouse of this young lady.
Yeah. Are you all free to go to the buffet if you like?
Good evening. I am Judy Brandon, non-journalist, freelance marketer, friend of Scoop, and wife of Ivan.
You're here.
And I'm Ivan Brandon, former reporter and editor of the Washington Post, and a longtime friend of Scoop, and everybody else I see.
Okay. Who did we get? Everybody. Oh, watch it. Sorry, we got you. Get the microphone. Good. George. Is that the microphone, George?
Okay, so who do we miss?
Sharon.
Here we go.
It's all right.
Oh, and Warren.
Warren Berry, science technology writer, retired from the New York Times and Associated Press.
Jean Sadler, Communications Director, Council of Governments, formerly of the Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marcia Davis, formerly of the Washington Post and currently of the Marshall Project.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get our photographer and videographer.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm Janice Temple, and I'm a social media influencer, Periscope curator, and you're live on YouTube, World Black History on Periscope.
Thank you.
I'm Sharon Farmer, waiting for the extraordinary revolution we're going to have in 2 years.
Okay, get it, buddy? Okay. Some people said they wanted to spend a little more time talking and mingling, so this is the time before we get our go to our first set of speakers.
Okay.
So enjoy eating it. Thank you, Okay.
No,
Hello.
just leave it on.
I'll leave it on? Okay. All right. Yeah, I forgot to introduce myself, Richard Prince, who is columnist for the Journal-isms column online, Journal-isms.com, about diversity issues in the news business. So I hope you're all reading. And I think I mentioned the city paper. Did I mention that already? Yeah. Well, for emphasis, yeah, do read that, because that's what I write about, is diversity issues. And they did a good job of tackling it. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got a very important announcement. Okay, very important announcement, and that is that the Institute, the Freedom Forum Institute, is paying for our drinks tonight, and so we want to give Gene Polisinski, thank you.
Okay, that's it? All right. So this is the 9th Annual Journalism Roundtable. If you are watching, please sign in to chat. We'll be back in a little bit. And actually, I'm going to scope the food. Should always scope food, right? And you did not introduce yourself, so say hello.
Oh, hello. Michelle Smith, I'm with USA Today.
All right, thank you. Hi, how are you doing? Awesome. It's good to have you.
She's on Facebook. Oh, something you do? Yeah.
Okay, chinois chicken salad. Oh, wow, that looks interesting. Mantecati roasted sweet corn. Potato puree. And what's this? Yeah, thank you. Roasted, seasonal, baby vegetables. Looks amazing. That's pan-seared rockfish a la grec. All right. Hi. And they have breads. I have no idea what that is. Gingerbread whoopie pie. I know. Oh, grilled chicken tarragon aioli. Looks amazing. Cranberry cheesecake, eggnog creme brulee tart, and then coffee and tea. So I'm going to end this.